One thing to truly look forward to in Star Wars Episode 9 is, of course, the many different twists and turns and surprises that will be coming our way by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, we do know that J.J. Abrams is currently very much hard at work on developing/directing the last couple of scenes of this movie before they actually wrap filming for Episode 9 and head into post-production and get into the reshoots as well. Now, we do know that this movie has a lot to do with Rey and Kylo Ren, and that these two characters will be taken down pretty much different paths than they were ever actually going before in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc., one of which has all to do with a moment between both Supreme Leader Snoke and Rey herself. Specifically, a description of Rey inside of a dark cave, full of Sith relics. In the background, an underground city can be seen in the distance. The next describes a rear shot of Rey with a figure in a golden robe in front of her, around 10 feet away, walking toward her. The figure walks closer to Rey, stepping out of the shadows, as it is revealed to be Supreme Leader Snoke. Rey ignites her blue lightsaber and charges toward the Snoke figure, with Snoke using Force lightning against her, hitting her saber in a similar fashion to what happened between Mace and Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith. The last goes over Rey with her mouth wide open as if she is yelling, before she flies into one of the walls in the cave with a sudden explosion, with Snoke now vanished into thin air. It is implied that this is a vision similar to what happened between both Luke and Vader on Dagobah. So I really want to go over a couple of parts about this that really are getting me very excited about this movie when it comes to all the different visions and flashbacks and dream sequences and all of that crazy stuff that we would love to see in a Star Wars movie. I know some of you guys out there disagree, some of you guys out there are not for flashbacks or visions, and that's perfectly fine and okay and all. I, for one, love the one in The Empire Strikes Back where we do get to see Luke fighting Vader. In this scenario, it seems as though that Rey will be combating against Supreme Leader Snoke himself in his golden robe, and that to me sounds freaky. Now, if you guys read The Last Jedi novelization, and if you did study, Rey's pretty much, facial expressions in the throne room scene, you can tell that she does indeed fear the character of Snoke. And if she does fear something, when she confronts a certain truth or whatever, wherever she is in this cave, we're not quite sure. Nonetheless, it does have a lost city below the surface of whatever planet this really is. It could be Jeddah, it could be another planet out there like Ossus, we're not quite sure. But looking at everything here, how she ignites the blue lightsaber and goes up against Supreme Leader Snoke using his Force lightning technique against her, in a similar way to exactly how the lightning hits Mace Windu's lightsaber in Revenge of the Sith, sounds like yet another parallel to the prequel trilogy that J.J. Abrams is trying to bring in here into Episode 9. Now, does this also explain as to why Andy Serkis had to cancel his appearance at Keystone Comic-Con, I believe it was in Philadelphia a couple of months ago, to film for a very secret project for a motion capture sequence, which could very well be the characters of course, Supreme Leader Snoke, or maybe a new character in Episode 9, for all we know. Now, the next thing that I do want to go over is how she gets slammed into one of the cave walls. She gets thrown into one of the cave walls from a sudden explosion before Snoke vanished into actual thin air. Once again, very Vision-esque stuff here. Now, you can only imagine what they're trying to put together in this movie. Originally, J.J. Abrams, in Episode 7, The Force Awakens, he wanted Rey to see a battle between both Luke and Vader on, of course, Cloud City. And what he really wanted to do with that was give us different views of the fight. In this scenario, we're actually going to get a sequence in which Rey goes up against Snoke, and J.J. Abrams seems to be toying around with the ideas of Snoke actually being able to fight Rey in this scenario, where Rey actually has, pretty much doesn't have the upper hand against Snoke, which is a very interesting concept for sure. So everything that has been going on with this movie, we do know that JJ loves the concept of flashbacks, and it's something that he will be bringing back into the equation here for Episode 9. It's also said that the flashbacks will actually become full circle in this movie. In the previous two movies, they were only little teases of the full story and exactly what the full story will become in the final installment of the sequel trilogy. Now, the last thing that I really do want to go over is Snoke in Episode 9. Is he actually coming back to life? There are some hints out there that we have gone over before in the past that really do give us some major hints and or indicators that he will be coming back to life in Episode 9. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.